Hello and welcome to You Talking to Me. Thousands of asylum seekers, of refugees could be relocated across the European Union. The European Commission wants to introduce quotas on refugees for member states. That's our topic today, and we are going to discuss it with Mrs. Birgit Sippel. She's a member of the European Parliament from the Social Democrats from Germany. Hello and welcome, Mrs. Sippel.
Hello, morning.
We're also joined by Magdalena Skajewska from Polskie Radio and by Holger Winkelmann from our German partner AMS. Good morning to both of you.
Hi.
Mrs. Sippel, 40,000 refugees who are now in Italy and Greece could be relocated in other EU countries. They're coming from Eritrea, from Syria, from countries with 75% of chance to get the status of a refugee in Europe. What do you think of this proposal from the European Commission?
First of all, I'm very happy that the Commission started this project of relocation in the member states because we need the solidarity of all member states to take part in our asylum and migration policy. One might question, and I was a bit surprised, that in a first step it's only refugees for the moment living in Italy and Greece, because we know that also Malta has taken a lot of refugees. But it's a first step, and it will be interesting to see what were the reactions of the member states, because so far we know they are not all very happy with this idea.
We are going to talk about it, and some EU diplomats said the idea or the plan, the program of the Commission is somehow half-baked. They talked about a rushed procedure, and Olivier Henrion from RTBF has a question on that.
The European Commission proposal to set up quotas for migrants triggered an outcry in many European countries, so much so that today many people consider the project is stillborn. So, do you think the European Commission was right to launch its proposal as it did, or should Jean-Claude Juncker have secured a broad consensus before launching it?
Mrs. Sippel.
Yeah, you know, the debate of relocation, the debate of creating distribution keys or quotas is not a new idea. We are debating it since years, and especially since 2013, when we had the first tragedy at Lampedusa. So the idea is placed. Member states had a lot of time to think about it, and I'm very happy that after all the time where some debates and negotiations have been taken place between Commission and Council behind closed door, that now they see we have no other chance to make it public, to put some pressure on member states and to deal with the situation. And so I'm very happy that this is going on, and it's not a quick step, it's a long debate, and now we need some solutions.
As we said, not every country welcomes the idea. Opposition comes from Hungary, Slovakia, and from Poland, Magda.
Yeah, Poland is one of the countries that thinks that this quota system should not be obligatory. The government in Warsaw, for example, is saying that we might be faced with migratory pressure from the east, given the war in Ukraine. But yes, there are many other countries who are saying that they should not be, any numbers should not be imposed on them. And we know that this proposal to work and to be implemented, it needs to be approved by the member states. Do you think that it has any chance of going well through the Council and being approved by the Council?
I really hope it is, because for the moment being, the message sent by the member states is, okay, we fight criminal smugglers, we cooperate with third countries, building maybe additional camps in third countries. So the message is clear, refugees stay out of Europe. And I think this is not a good done thing, because European Union is a union based on values, and it's time, not only in the sunny days, but especially in days when we are facing challenges like the migration, that we keep on solidarity, that we stick to our humanitarian values, and that we work on it on solidarity. And in the long run, as you mentioned, the migration pressure coming from Eastern countries, if you look at the distribution key in the paper of the Commission they presented 2 weeks ago, the question, how many refugees a country already has taken has to be considered also into a distribution key. So I think different elements are in place, and I'm really convinced we can do it, and we need to have a clear position to oppose far right-wing people, parties and groups, to make clear that we are based on values and that we take our responsibility in addition to what needs to happen in the countries of origin.
So Italy is one of the two countries from where refugees are going to be relocated. According to the figures, 24,000 out of the 40,000 will come from Italy. And we have Gigi Donnelly from Radio 24 on the phone. Gigi, is the proposal going to solve the problem for Italy?
Well, good morning. Actually, no. Of course, there is a double approach to these numbers. One is, of course, a positive reaction because something is moving. On the other side, we have to consider and work on the basis fact that there will be 170,000 migrants in 2014 in Italy. And because of this, the reaction last night was quite poor. So 24,000 at best within 170,000 is less than 15%. So the expectation is to work on the numbers. Of course, the principle was positive. And so my question would be to our guest, is this number will be part of a long-standing debate in order to, let's say, to give more help to the southern countries?
Mrs. Sippel.
Now, the relocation scheme is only a first step. If you look into the migration agenda of the Commission, they will also make proposals for resettlement. So this means an ongoing scheme and for those who are coming newly. And on relocation, this is a first step, and it will continue in all the ongoing years. At the same time, there is a proposal to support more the countries where most of the refugees are coming first by giving additional help with the European Asylum Support Office, to give additional staff members to help out to register the asylum seekers, and we have to work on it. And as we already talked about the hesitation of some member states to take part on this has to be seen really as a very first step, and I really hope that we can do it. And then, of course, additional steps need to be taken. But let me add maybe some point. I think when it comes to Italy, we also have to ensure that not all migrants stay at Lampedusa or in the south of the country. The whole country of Italy needs to take responsibility, and I saw in last week some movement in that area. But once again, relocation, this 40,000 people is only a first step.
The distribution key is based on the economic situation, on unemployment rate. We talked about it. Do you think it's a fair way to distribute refugees? Do you agree with this proposal of the Commission?
If you look at the distribution key proposed by the Commission, I think it's a fair step because it takes into consideration many different areas, some economic situations of the member states, the unemployment rates, the question how many refugees a country already has taken, and some others. So I think it's really fair, and we have to work on it. And if in future it should come up that additional points have to be taken into consideration, we can do it. But for the moment being, I think it's a well-balanced proposal and we can work on it.
Actually, the Commission presented a very detailed proposal with percentages, Holger.
Yeah, these percentages, I think, are very difficult sometimes to understand. For example, Romania has to take 3.75% of the refugees or the asylum seekers who are to be relocated across the EU. Other countries like Slovakia or Bulgaria have very more or less percentages. So when you look at Romania, there's the infrastructure, I think, is not so good that they can deal with this high percentage. So do you think it makes sense to send the refugees in this high percentage to Romania, for example?
In general, we need to find out that if we start a debate, if it makes sense if it makes sense to send refugees to one or the other country, then we open the door for the devil, because then every country will say, oh, we are not in the position, we are not well prepared. That's why it's important to add more support from European Union, from the European Asylum Office, to help countries like that. If the percentage is correct, this has to be evaluated looking at the distribution key to see what is the basis on the elements in the distribution key and to which extent they are weighted in the process. We have to look on this. And also, Romania is a much bigger country than Slovenia or others, and I think this also has to be taken into consideration.
Okay, we are almost at the end, but we got a question on our Facebook page from Annika Grietzmann. She says, we have no European answer for migrants. It gives a very bad picture of Europe. I have the feeling that the European Parliament is useless on this matter. Am I wrong?
It's true that many concrete decisions have to be taken in the member states, but I'm very proud on this parliament not to have stopped the debates on how to deal with migrants through all the years, and I'm very happy that finally the Commission came up supporting our position that we need to give a different picture of European Union when it comes to migration flows. And I think it's only the pressure of Parliament and Commission that now a bit of a movement is coming up to member states, that they are under pressure to argue why they are not willing to work on solidarity. So I'm very proud to have this European Parliament. And without the pressure from Parliament, I think nothing would have happened even now.
Okay, thank you very much for your visit in our studio. Thank you all, and see you soon on You Talking to Me.